Before jumping into Chapter 4, we shall do a brief summary of Chapter 3. The main cast was continuing their journey to the Hunter exam hall. They were directed to make it to the pine tree on the hill for further directions when stopped by an old lady. The old lady forces the group to pass a quiz before advancing. After the crew passes the quiz, the old lady reveals the path to the tree. Alright, bro. Let's put the fries in the bag and get on to Chapter 4. Chapter 4 picks up with our crew on the path to the pine tree. Granny informed the crew that there would be a house under the tree that homes a couple that would lead them further through the exams, and the path would only take about 2 hours. However, the crew is about 4 hours in at the moment, and Leorio is in the back with his complaints. He gotta take a dump, and Gon is ready to leave him behind. Fortunately, Kurapika has locked eyes on the house under the tree. We then get a quick commercial for navigators. The Hunter exam hall is never in the same location. Without guides, it is impossible to make it to the Hunter exam hall. The applicants are intended to find navigators so they can have their skills acknowledged, then the applicants are led down the correct path. The captain and Granny are the only navigators we have met so far. Upon reaching the house under the pine tree, Kurapika is concerned why it is so quiet and why they are the only applicants there. Leorio knocks on the door, then proceeds to enter the home after not receiving a response to stumble upon a giant flea-like beast holding a woman hostage. You can also see the woman's husband is injured in the back. The crew reacts fast, but the giant flea reacts faster, breaking out the window and fleeing the home with the hostage. Gon and Kurapika are locked in, dashing off to save the woman while assigning Leorio to stay and look after the injured husband. Getting outside, Kurapika is worried due to losing track of the flea. However, Gon is able to quickly observe the area and notice a faint moving shadow. Gon pursues the shadow while Kurapika follows. At this time, Kurapika notices how sharp Gon is. Gon is able to react swiftly and remain calm while being very alert. Once Gon and Kurapika catch up to the flea, Gon yells out to let go of the girl. To our surprise, the flea responds with an insult. Gon is shocked that the flea could talk. Kurapika then enlightens Gon that's why the flea is called a magical beast. This particular beast is a Kiriko. They are able to shapeshift and could even shift into human form. Gon isn't worried about the flea. If the beast can talk, this rescue will be easy. Gon calls the flea a fuzzy butt and the flea gets a little angry. When the flea turns around, Gon bops him in his head with his fishing rod. Gon screams out to Kurapika to catch the hostage while preparing for a counterattack of the flea. Gon darts off while Kurapika tries and comforts the hostage. As Kurapika is comforting the woman, he notices that she has some pronounced tattoos. Meanwhile, Leorio pops up and checks to see if Kurapika is okay. Kurapika states that he is fine and asks about the man that Leorio is supposed to be watching. Leorio ensures that the man is fine and only has a few scratches. Kurapika responds with violence, hitting Leorio in the face with a sword holster. As Leorio starts to stumble from the hit, we learn that this isn't Leorio, it's another magic beast. The magic beast was impressed with Kurapika for noticing. However, Kurapika didn't actually notice. Kurapika just hit him thinking that Leorio abandoned the task of defending the injured man. Kurapika then questions the woman that was held hostage, asking who she is. In response, the woman starts to laugh and transforms as well. We are then taken back to Gon. Gon and the flea have caught up to each other and they are ready to throw down. The flea compliments Gon for his movements and the hit that he was able to pull off. Then the flea dashes in to attack and Gon don't flinch. In fact, Gon introduces himself. This is actually a different beast than the one he was chasing that had the girl hostage. The beast questions how he came to the conclusion and Gon explained that they have differences in their face and voice. The flea gets a good laugh and calls out for her partner. Kurapika and Leorio also couldn't tell them apart, but that's besides the point. The fleas turned out to be navigators and their hostages were just their children, so no one was actually at harm here. The navigators took feedback from all of the main group's actions. The daughter explained the importance of her tattoos that Kurapika took notice to and how it exposed her for lying about her husband. While Leorio was never able to figure out the son, he did provide and display phenomenal first aid. Lastly, Gon displayed top-tier moves and awareness to get the approval of the fleas. The whole group passes this section of the exam, and the fleas fly us out of Chapter 4 into the opinions.
We don't care!
Chapter 4 was super lit. I was really happy to finally see some action now that the character introduction phase is up. Gon and Kurapika really got the juice, and it shows in this chapter, the way they were dealing with the fleas. Leorio managed to make it through this chapter. Luckily he wasn't spazzing the whole time how he was in the last few. When I watched the anime for the first time, the fleas had me a little confused, and it was a little confusing reading it, but they did wrap things up pretty well. However, I am hyped up for the next chapter. It only gets better from here on out. So I'll see you guys next time in chapter 5, The First Phase Begins, part 1.